Let's do some more. Huh? How about business and work? Hi, I'm Michael Redman.
And I'm Kathryn Redman.
And this is a half a bubble out
autocomplete
interview. All right.
Wait, is this doesn't work? You still have more? Oh my goodness, okay.
Okay. All of them are. Why is my office chair sinking?
Have you stopped working out?
It's broke.
Have you gained weight?
It's broke. It has a piston in it. There's a piston. It's a gas piston in the bottom. That's why it's sinking. And it's got a seal that's broke.
What if it's like this?
That wouldn't sink. And if that's sinking, it's really broke. That's but your average chair, see, it's a piston and there's an air piston in there. Some of them are oil, but most of them are air. That's when you flip the little lever on the bottom.
Very technical.
And I know these things.
You do.
And so there's a leak and you've probably broken it. So you either need to get it replaced or throw it away, buy another chair.
Yes.
If you spent a lot of money on it, like one of those Herman chairs, the black meshy chairs, there's a good warranty on it. Get the warranty.
Okay.
For those of you who are asking Google why your chair is sinking. Okay.
Why is my office chair squeaking? Because it needs to be oiled?
I don't.
W2?
I mean, that's probably.
Wait, W2.
W2? You mean
WD-40?
WD-40, which has no 2 in it?
No 2.
Okay.
No 2.
So I would suggest, well, WD-40 is not really a lubricant, but yeah, you could use that. But you could use some grease or some graphite. Graphite's good, but it's really messy. Find the squeak and there are multiple reasons why, but it usually is probably because either a bolt is wearing out or it needs a little bit of grease somewhere and then it might fix the squeak.
There you go. Oh, why is my office so cold? I ask that often when I'm in your office. In my office, I always ask, why is my office so hot?
HVAC systems, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning are complicated things. And a lot of times they try and set the temperature for everything, but the way it vents, it's hard to push the air around. And it happens in ours. We have 2 air conditioning systems in our office, and then they have to set the thermostat. And where's the thermostat? If you're in a larger company, they lock the thermostat so you can't mess with it. And then figure out what that's like.
I always warn the person who's affected by my AC unit. I'm going to turn it down now. Grab a sweater, because I'm dying in my office.
Okay, so have you noticed that 72 degrees in the winter feels very different than 72 degrees in the summer?
I have noticed that.
If it's 72 degrees, why does it feel different?
Because maybe one's blowing hot 72 there.
No, but what if you turn the heater and air conditioning system off? It still feels different.
Because it's cold outside.
I think it's odd. I've never had anybody explain it to me. I'm just saying.
Moving on.
This is critical.
That's enough. That's enough of that one.
Somebody's bored.
Why small businesses need digital marketing?
So before COVID, if you looked at a bar of how many people were buying every week or buying every month or buying every year, the percentage used to be like around 3 to 6% of all sales. This was like 7-8 years ago. It's like 3, 4, 5% of all sales in the country, in the United States, was online. That was it. Everybody thought it was more, but it really wasn't. And then it was steadily going up. And then COVID happened, and it went up, and it's over 45% of all purchases now are happening online.
Yep.
Everything's digital.
And what that means, too, is if you're not doing digital marketing, most of the research for any product or service is done before they ever get to a salesperson.
And if you don't know what digital means, we mean on the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we mean. We mean on the internet.
Interwebs.
It needs to be at least a portion of your marketing dollars.
Yes, it does.
If not a huge portion. Why small businesses need a website?
Oh.
See previous answer.
Well, and I'll add to it. I started to say it in another question, but if you don't have a website, then there's nothing that you're controlling. Everything else on the internet is controlled by somebody else.
That's a good point.
The website is actually you get to control it. And it matters that you control something, because if Facebook changes an algorithm, if Google goes down, or Google changes, or there's just 100 ways everything can go wrong if you're only out there.
It's not perfect,
social.
But it's the best way you can protect your brand and your company and everything else.
Yep.
So, why small businesses fail? 90% of them fail. I think it's really as simple. Businesses fail because they don't understand the fundamentals of business. The fundamentals of business.
They're not having any fun, and it's very fundamental.
They're fundamentals of business. So if you don't do that, then you're in trouble. Yeah. You got to have, you really need to understand and learn it, because we have a model that has 6 different areas, and your business could fail for mistakes in each of the 6 areas. And sometimes it's just people are in a hurry and they just don't do the things that they need to do.
Yep.
So that's it.
That's it. Okay, end of that one. Boom.